Right, guys. I'd just like to go through the frugal living in Bulgaria and a few little things I've just adjusted this year. And these are tiny things, and frugal people do tiny things to just keep the budget in check. Now, because we've had some inflation, but in Bulgaria we've had some things go down. How about that? Incredible. And one of the things that went down is the firewood, and it went down considerably. Almost, I think it was about 40%, because they gouged it, they hiked it up, and I think people were just not buying it. They were just going for the electricity instead. Because if you get some good electric heating, the difference is there is a difference between the wood burner, but it's not massive. It's not huge. I like the wood because it's a diverse form of energy. That's why I like wood. Now, it went down to 100 lev, which in euros is €50, give or take a couple of euros either way. And so that was good. And it was 170 previously. So that's huge, and the wood was good quality. Beech. They do mix in some oak, but oak is hopeless on the fire compared with beech. I find anyway. It depends. You might have be the type of boiler you have. It might be good in the closed type boilers, like these Czech ones that you get. Like it's like a closed incinerator type thing, which glows rather than burns freely. And so it might be good in there where you need a really slow burn. Yeah, so I was happy with that. Now, of notable purchases, also I got an air fryer, which is my go-to now. It's fantastic. I use it all the time, and it really is probably more healthy because I don't use any oil. I don't even spray oil on stuff. I just cook it like pork belly or it's and it crisps things beautifully. And I hardly ever really fry stuff like meats and that on the cooker now. And now we're coming up to stew and curry season. That's what I call it, because that's what I live on largely during the winter. Stew and curries, and you can add to the stews and make soups and all sorts during the winter. And I do most of the cooking on the wood burner. Now, I haven't started the stews yet, but I'll be starting soon, and then I'll report back on them. So, and the biggest purchase I made this year is this camera, which was €470, which is that's a big purchase for me. I was using the phone, the Redmi. I bought the phone as well this year, and that wasn't that much. I think you say Xiaomi, Redmi. Fantastic phones. I'm not a big iPhone person, anything like that. I just need a decent phone. I don't even use it a lot of the time, most of the time. I hardly ever use it. The only thing I use it for is codes for logging in. I've just been using it now to check the banks, and I'm going to give the figure now what I'm living on. Right, so the notable things I've done this year is like just trying to keep the budget in, and it's just natural for me. I don't really have to try, because I'm a minge bag, and I'm just a frugal type of mindset. So I don't waste anything. Now, I took the boiler, which you can see in the background on my left shoulder here. The boiler, I just took it down a notch. So when the water comes out, it's just about enough so it doesn't burn you. And I found that's better than getting it really, really hot and then mixing it with cold water. And that's only a small, tiny little thing, but it seems to have made a lot of difference with the electric bills. Although you use more water, say, to wash the dishes, like when you have a shower, you don't have to mess about with the hot and cold and trying to get it right. If you get the temperature right for just like a quite a hot shower, warm shower, and that's just about hot enough to do the dishes as well. You could put a kettle of water in or something in the dishes to make it a little bit hotter. That gets the grease, that melts all the grease on that. But with the air fryer, everything stays clean. I don't know why, but like things are easier to clean as well. So that's what I've done with the boiler. And now that's a good one then. Just taking it down so it's bearable for a shower and washing and and also, well, I close it down anyway when we go away on the road trips. It makes a huge difference. And so I've been on how many road trips? 2 major ones, both to Albania area. And then we've done a few day trips around Bulgaria, long days. And the fortunate thing I have with that is we go in this company car, and it's not my company; it's our road trip manager, and the company pays for the diesel. That's one of his perks of being a successful businessman. So the transport's all paid for. So, and it's a road trip, so it's incredible. And then you're dividing the accommodation by 4, and most of the food during the day, snacks and that, we either take with us or buy from shop prices, supermarkets, and we don't eat out every night. We do sometimes, and we sometimes eat during the day as well. Eat out if we come across somewhere like a fish restaurant on the river. Who catch the fish and do them. We'll go for that in the daytime. If we're passing one, if we find one, and that kind of thing, So these holidays I have are so cheap, and I'm fortunate to have the transport. But I do kind of work for it because I do all the driving. And I'm driving 10, sometimes 12 hours a day, with a couple of breaks, and I don't mind because I like driving, and that's why I like road trips. If I didn't like driving, I wouldn't do them. Some people just don't like driving, and the road trips aren't for them. I just like it, and it doesn't make me tired. It really doesn't. I don't know why. It's just like one of your vocations in life. because a driver is certain pace, right in the middle, not too slow. Sometimes I get a bit of traffic backing up, and I'll pull over and let them all pass, because some people like rally driving in the mountains, and they're the ones who you see the gravestones by the side of the road at a later date, which there's plenty of them, and yeah, I'll just pull over and let them pass. There's plenty of in the mountains and that. There's plenty of like places just to pull in and let people go by who want to meet the maker quicker. Yeah. So that's just an aside. So the other things I do is from when I go to Lidl. And there's a rule here: when things are on offer, I'll buy them, and I might even buy 2 lots. Say they got 2 for 1. But the rule is, I never buy anything that I'm not going to use, because people can do that and they buy stuff they don't even like because it's on offer, and it might be stuff that goes off as well. Like I don't buy old vegetables and all that, although they do have them on offer now and again, or old bread. Or I could buy the bread because I toast most of my bread. That's an idea for the future. Now, the big saving is on the meat, because I'm quite a bit of a carnivore type, meat eater type diet. Not full on, but mostly, it's most of my meals are meat based, with a few bits and bobs of salad and the carbs I have mostly are potatoes and rice, which I don't seem to have any ill effects, especially from rice. I find rice, pretty good on everything. The stomach, the energy. So a lot of my meals are rice and meat. Which now the rule on the meat and the fish is that I buy it when it's 30% off. But like enough for a month. And then I'll go again. Then I don't stack it up in the freezer for months and months, because things do have a freezer life as well, I find, and especially if they're already reduced in the shop, But like you're buying then at 30% below, so that's counteracted this year's inflation. If you look at it like that, you'd be buying things 30% off, and then you can quite often get those other things that they have. They have good offers in Lidl. They do have good offers. The other supermarkets here don't really have them. So much, I don't know what they do with the stuff that's going out of date or whatever. Like in our supermarket down the road here, there's nothing that's ever reduced really. Maybe some wine sometimes it's reduced, and the beer as offers, but they're like corporate offers from the brewery, They're like, they get people. Well, it's a point of sale thing, and it's a loss leader. They want to get people back on their beer and whatever, and they put the prices on the. They fix the prices from the brewery in Bulgaria, mostly. They have the price on the bottle. So it's all controlled from the brewery, which is, I think that's. I was quite surprised about that, really. So there's other good offers they have as well in Lidl, like from time to time, like tins of fish, tuna, and stuff like that. But the eggs are expensive and they're not very good. I get the local eggs. So there's all things like this where you get, if you can get reduction by 30%, sometimes 50%, and the stuff's not out of date. It's coming out of date, but it's usually on the last day, and then you can freeze it straight away. And then, and the other thing on the shopping this year, I've cut out 3 trips. I used to go every week to town, but I only go once a month now. Mostly once a month, and I do a sweep of all the supermarkets and see what's on offer in each one. Which some of them I'll walk out with nothing. There's one supermarket I just walk through and nothing's cheap. So I only buy one thing there, which you can't get elsewhere, which is marmalade, and because you can't even get that in Lidl. You can now and again. They have the Sicilian stuff. I'm sure they have it in the UK, but here they don't. They have this peach stuff, and it's not marmalade. It's just peach jam. So I will go to this one place, and it's not cheap either. So frugal is not being cheap. It's just being strategic. Or other names like minge bag or miser. So just the one trip to town. I mean, it doesn't sound a lot, does it? I mean, but it is. It is, because you're saving the petrol. But so it is. It does count. Everything counts. That's what Tesco says. Every little helps, and they know, because they make fortunes. So every little helps them. That's what they're on about, really. They're just laughing at you. Every little helps. I bet it does. If you look at their profits. So things like that, yeah. And now we're coming to stew season. That's really like budget cooking, But it doesn't, it's, if you're doing it on the wood burner, there's no extra costs involved, And the air fryer seems to be, it doesn't seem to take a lot of electricity, because the electricity bills have been down to the bone this year. I don't know whether they've put the amount down, kilowatt hours, or the price. I think they must have done, because I don't use really any less, but my bills have been cheaper this year. My bills are in all summer, and even till now, are only about £13 a month, something like that. £13 a month, pounds, UK GPP, and that's all they are. So I bought, like, with the big purchases, if we say, the mobile phone, can't remember how much it was. I've just been trying to look now on the I must have paid cash for it, because I've been looking on the bank details, and I couldn't find the purchase, because I know where I bought it, in Plovdiv, but there's nothing there, so I must have paid cash. It wasn't that much, and it's a good phone. It's just what I need anyway. It's a Redmi Note 12. I mean, some people laugh at these things, but there it is, and that's good enough for me. And the battery is fantastic. It lasts for days and days and days. Now, I did go, no, that's not kind of a frugal phone. You can get cheaper ones. Sorry, that's not a cheap phone. it's a frugal phone because it's middle for diddle. It's not a cheapo phone. I made that mistake with the previous one to that, which was absolute garbage from start to finish. And I've still got it knocking about somewhere, but like it was hopeless. It was rubbish. The battery was rubbish. The charging, where you put the charger in, was rubbish. And it's one of those. It was one of those Samsung type ones. They're hopeless. Samsung plug-in thing on the bottom of the phones. That's why I got away from Samsung in the first place, and then I got this other one, and it was cheapo. It was called a Yuli phone. Absolute garbage. They'll never buy one of them things. But this Xiaomi, Redmi, it's fantastic. You can tell when you click all the things, everything's like quite, and the touch screen is very responsive and everything. But I don't use it for much. Like I say, I only use it for logging in, mostly, and a couple of apps. And I was testing out this year the navigation app, which is very good. It's a crypto app, and you can get paid if you sign up. And there's like 2 tiers. One of them you've got to buy an NFT, but I've just got the basic one, but it's good, and it's offline. You can use it offline. You download the map of each country, say Serbia, and then it'll work then offline. Amazing. And I tried out the Google Maps one, and that eats data, so be careful of that if you go somewhere. You can do it so it works offline. I've got to look into that, Google Maps, because that does have a lot of other information on, like breakdown services and things like that. This one has everything except it doesn't have breakdown services. It has accommodation and restaurants and stuff, but it doesn't have breakdown service and stuff like that. But it's good. It's called Atlas Navi. Just try it out, and it's great. It works offline, and it gives you everything. Traffic. What's his name? Traffic jams and all sorts. It's pretty good offline, and so I'm up to now. This year, from January till now, which is now the 11th of October, and we're just about to go on another road trip. I think we're only going 4 days, this one, and we're not going too far. We're not going to Albania. We're only going to round about the Greek border, southwest Bulgaria, because there's a couple of places I haven't seen there. I've never been to Petrich. That's where we're heading. And then Strumitze. I've made a video on that. So I've had a few purchases as well. So my year now, we're up to exactly €4,600 for the year. So I've got November and December to come. And the only expense there, apart from, daily living expenses, is the car, MOT. And it's cheap here. It's only £25, something like that. And that's it. And the car tax, they have a local tax, and so that'll be that one as well. So it's only going to be like probably maximum about €60 for all of that, to get the car another year MOT and that. And apart from that, I can't foresee any other major expenses. So that'll take me probably to the same again, just over €5,000. So people won't even believe that. They'll think I'm lying, but I've just worked it out now from the bank. statements. So that you can't miss anything. The way I do it, you can't miss a single anything. You can't forget anything because it's all coming out the same account, you know. Well, actually 2 accounts, but you just add them both up, and that's it. That is it. There's no extras. It can't be any other hidden expenses. It can't lie. You know, I'm not keeping a spreadsheet. I mean, that's for people who forget things and don't add things that they should be adding. You know, and they say, "Oh, look at that! That's a good. That was a good year." But like the bank account says otherwise. You know, but you can tell when people add things up. They're not. They're not. They're missing things. Anyway, so that's the latest frugal things, and I've made some good little changes there, and the tiny little changes like the water heater, going to town less. It all adds up. Trust me, from a frugal person, everything adds up, and people think, he's talking rubbish, you know. But like motoring now and petrol and that, it's not cheap, you know. And plus with the air fryer as well, I've saved a load of gas. I think I'm going to only use 1 gas bowl for the year. I usually use 1.5 or 2 on the gas cooking, which I've used hardly anything. I don't even think I'll use a bottle. Small bottles, the 10 kg or 12 kg. So that the air fryer, and it's very seems to be very kind of economical. I don't know the exact figures. I haven't measured. I can't measure it. I haven't got the means. But I know the electric bill, what that is, and it's not. It hasn't jumped, or if anything, it's gone down maybe because of the water heater. I don't know. But so that's year to date. So we're heading again. Even with the inflation, I've kept my annual expenditure very low again. Just over €5,000. Don't know what that is. A month is ridiculous. Hang on. We put in here 5. It's going to be about maybe 5,200 this year. We're heading for. So divided by 12. That's months. €450 a month. That's everything. Internet. Council tax, which is nothing. All my car expenses, car fuel, gas, bottles, 5 cubic meters of wood. This camera, which is probably one of the biggest expenses. New mobile phone. And I might buy a laptop next year to phase in. There's nothing wrong with this one, but you never want to be caught out with a dead laptop and you can't get all the stuff, and you start transferring stuff onto your next laptop. That's another thing I do as well. Transfer stuff onto laptop, and I've got a lot of stuff on memory sticks as well. That's a good thing to do if you're in my kind of investment type world. You've got to keep on top of that kind of thing. All your passwords. I've got thousands of passwords, passcodes, and all sorts. So yeah, it's quite a long video, but like there's a bit of information in there, and it's only if people want to be frugal, and you've got to listen, and everything counts, and that's how you do it. That's how you do it. And they say in Scotland, many a mickle and muckle makes. Aye.